Earlier, we talked about vectors, and then we also talked about uh, a real world application about vectors, that is, solving a system of linear equations with matrices and vectors. Uh, and that's how we started with this course. Now, in this particular part, we are trying to understand the vectors more mathematically, more sophisticatedly. Even prior to talking about or writing the definition of vectors mathematically, we'll first see group, which is a substructure used in vectors. So, group is a basic building block. In fact, uh, I should say more basic building block than vectors. So, let us see what is a group. Group is a structure. It's we say it algebraic structure. So this algebraic structure contains a set of things G and a binary operation. So let's see. This is G, the set, and this is the operation. Okay, so I'm not able to select it. So that's the operation. That's the binary operation, which means that it takes two operands at a time and then result into something. So when you have a pair that contains a set and an operation, a binary operation, then it should have following properties so as to call as group. The first property is closure property. The closure property says if you take any two elements of G and you operate with that particular binary operation, then the resultant value will fall in G, will remain in G, and that's called the closure property. The associative property says that if you are having three elements and you want to operate them with the help of that binary operation, then the order in which you do the operation is unimportant or does not matter, which means essentially, like if you want to operate x with y and with this result with z, then it is same as that first you operate y with z and then you operate x with the resultant of y with z. So both of them are same. So it means the ordering in terms of doing the operation first and which operation later on is immaterial. Then there is a condition that this set should have the identity or the neutral element with respect to that particular operation in that set, which means that there must exist some element E in groups, so that for every you take any element, any other element, or any element in fact in G and operate with this particular element E, the result you will get is the element which is not identity one. So among both of the two, so you get the element which is not identity, so you again get the same thing. So let us suppose that X is an element in G and E is the identity element. So this identity element when operated with X will result into X. Whether you operate it from the left side, whether you operate it from the right side, it will result into X. Now considering the another condition is existence of inverse. For every element in G, there must be an inverse with respect to that operation in the set. So what does it mean? It means that let us suppose that you have a element X in G. Now you should have another element Y in G such that when you operate X with Y or Y with X, you get the neutral element. So once you have that neutral element, then y can be said as the inverse of x, or x can be said as inverse of y. So both ways it works. So if these conditions are fulfilled, then we say that it's a group. Further, if we say that the order of doing the operation, so x operated y or y operated x, if that does not matter, then it is called abelian group. So that's called the commutative property. So if it has commutative property above those four properties, then it is called abelian group. Now what could be the question? So question could be like, okay, if set of natural numbers inclusive of 0 with usual addition, is it a group or not? Okay, let us see. We have a proof over here. We have written a proof. So we will go one by one for all the properties and try to see whether this set fulfills the properties or not. So first thing is closure property. The closure property says you take any two element from the set and you operate them, and the resultant should be in that set. So here if you see, you take any two natural numbers, you add them, it becomes a natural number. So you take anything like 2 and 3, you add them up, it becomes 5, which is a natural number. So yes, it is closed. The set of natural numbers is closed. Set of natural numbers is closed with respect to addition. Now going to the associative property. The associative property is when you see the real numbers. Okay, let us suppose we are talking about real numbers, and then these real numbers, whenever you add them, so it does not matter if you have three numbers, whether you add the later two numbers or the former two numbers first, it doesn't matter actually. And since natural numbers are also real numbers, so they also follow that property, and hence this particular algebraic structure n0 plus also has the property of associative property. Now talking about the condition of the neutral element, since already we have included 0, and you can see that 0 is the identity element with respect to addition in natural numbers. So if you take any natural number, you want to add something to it, that you again get the same natural number back. So for example 2 you have, then you add something to it and it should result into 2. So what could be that? It should be 0, right? So we say that any number, so you should have 0. So 0 means the existence of identity. So we know that 0 is inside the n0, that we by the definition of n0, and that's how it follows the property of or condition that that it is true. Okay, let's go into the next part, and which says that existence of inverse, which means that if you take any element x, so it should have some another element with respect to this x, so that when you add these two elements, it should result into the neutral element 0. Now consider we have 2. 2 is in n0, no problem. Now if it is in n0, now what should be added to it so that it gives you 0? Minus 2. But minus 2 is not in the natural numbers. That is, minus 2 is not in n0. Since it is not in n0, it does not have the inverse. So ultimately, it means that n0 plus is not an inverse, it is not a group, because n0 does not satisfy the property of existence of inverse, right? And that's the proof. Okay, so in the next video we'll talk about vector spaces, and you can see there are certain examples. You can try them by your hand and try to see if they follow they are group or not, so that you can try. Thank you.